going on, vinyl community? Welcome to another video with the Record Spinner. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the rabbit hole of collecting KISS picture discs. As if collecting KISS vinyl wasn't rabid enough, whether it's vintage pressings, the KISS Online exclusives, bootlegs, box sets, 7 inches and whatnot, I have been bitten by the picture disc bug, and at this point there is simply no turning back. There is a little bit of reasoning behind this move as well as some cool pieces to showcase, so enough of the chit chat, let's jump into what this video is all about. So I should emphasize by saying that within my time vinyl collecting, I've tended to steer away from picture discs, mostly because of the way that they are manufactured and how that attributes to how the sound quality is generally far more inferior to what you'd get with standard black or colored vinyl, with a thin layer of plastic serving as the playing surface that gets fused on top of the photo in the vinyl underneath. Granted, the pressing quality of them today is better than what it used to be. Now, do they serve a decorative purpose? 100%. They are very attractive to look at, but generally speaking, I like to play my vinyl, so why spend the money on something that you'll just simply look at and that's it? Especially if the sound quality would generally be better on regular vinyl. Now, to some degree, I am a little bit of an audiophile to where I am conscious on aspects of vinyl such as pressing plants, mastering engineers, and the source of the material, so picture discs are almost the antithesis of what an audiophile would seek out, but I'm also on the other side of the coin where I can put on a rough sounding audience recording bootleg and appreciate it for what it is. So my rules on picture discs started to shift a bit when I started to collect the KISS picture disc bootleg box sets, which focus on certain tours and feature several shows pressed on picture disc vinyl with a booklet and extra bits of memorabilia. Now, given the amateur nature of these bootleg recordings, whether they be audience or soundboard, picture discs seem to be a format to where not a whole lot was taken away from the listening experience, plus they looked absolutely stunning and well put together, so I kind of let it slide. Now, on the official side of things, KISS Online always does massive drops when a certain album celebrates an anniversary, and this results in exclusive colored variants, picture discs, and other merchandise. While some albums were given relatively affordable treatments within reach, averaging $50 to $60, the hunt intensified when some picture discs were being limited to 500 copies and sold only within merch bundles for $150 to $200. From the start, I bypassed the picture discs altogether, and it wasn't really on my collector's radar to seek them out. Or so I thought. Flash forward to sometime earlier this year, I noticed that distributors and record stores were starting to carry some of the KISS Online exclusive colored variants, and that meant the picture discs would make their way into the market as well. Now, the one picture disc that caught my eye was Double Platinum, but you might be wondering why that specific compilation. Already in my collection, I have the 2019 German pressing that has the censored German logo, standard grade jacket, gatefold from the 1985 UK pressing using Dynasty era photos, pressed on silver vinyl, and is limited to 2,000 copies. Now, within the realm of modern KISS vinyl, Double Platinum is one of the oddities, since it didn't get a proper standalone reissue in 2014. It was only made available exclusively within the Kissteria box set. Then there's the aforementioned German pressing from 2019, and then in 2020, there was the picture disc. Now, Playroom Records had it up for slightly inflated prices, but there were also listings up for damaged copies of those titles for a discounted rate. Now, they didn't give specifics as to how much damage there was. They just said that they either had corner dings, seam splits, or other superficial damage to the jacket. So for $55, which is $5 less than the KISS Online price, I took my chances, got a damaged copy, and the only speck of damage that I noticed is a little bit of corner creasing in the top left corner. And personally, to my preferences, this type of discrepancy is nothing for me to lose my mind over, so I felt that I got a good bargain out of it. And as you see, it does replicate the silver foil jacket along with the embossed portraits on the gatefold. Now, I don't know if you can notice, it's kind of hard to tell with the glare from the silver foil, but there is a copyright date of 2014. So they took the jackets directly from the Kissteria box and pressed up fresh vinyl. Of course, you get the Double Platinum Award, And all the sides of the two picture discs look the same with the colorized circular photos of the band members, so you kind of have to refer to the dead wax to configure which side is what. And speaking of dead wax, just to provide a little bit of extra maddening minutia, the mastering of the picture disc version is different to the Casteria and German versions. So given all of those qualities that make this variant unique, down to the format and replication of the original artwork, I felt that this would sit nicely alongside my 2019 German pressing, and once I got to playing it, I was pleasantly surprised with how decent it sounded, so my perception on picture discs started to change a bit. So I thought double platinum would be the only picture disc I'd be after, and sure enough, like all new collecting endeavors, I was bit by the picture disc bug, and once you get that little taste, you start to want more. But I've limited myself to just collecting picture discs of KISS, and that's down to the fact that they are my favorite band and I aim to get my hands on anything that is theirs, so I wouldn't dare try to get just anything on picture disc. But sure enough, I started to seek out more, and Dark Side Records happened to get in stock the Rock and Roll Over picture discs, so I got my hands on that. So right off the bat, what I like packaging wise of this picture disc pressing is that the jacket is not your standard type of jacket. It is a tip-on jacket, more sturdy and deluxe feeling, and of course it does come with the printed inner sleeve and sticker that appeared in the original pressing. But one of the new pieces that they throw in with some of these picture disc pressings is a lenticular lithograph of the album artwork, which makes the cover look kind of 3D, and if you move it, some of the elements of the artwork become animated a bit, which is really cool. And given the circular saw blade graphic on the cover, it makes sense for that to be the focal point of the first side of the picture disc, and then the printed inner sleeve graphic on the opposite side. And based on the dead wax etchings, they reused the metal parts from the 2014 reissue. I was also able to get my hands on Music from the Elder, another tip-on jacket just like Rock and Roll Over, all aspects of the original artwork replicated between the gatefold as well as the printed inner sleeve with all the song lyrics. We do also get another lenticular lithograph, which is pretty solid. And then as for the picture discs itself, they went ahead and used the custom center labels of the hand, referencing the one seen on the album cover. Probably not my first choice of design, but I kind of see why they chose that. And as for the mastering itself, this is an all-exclusive cut, so it is different to the 2014 pressing as well as the 2022 German half-speed master. So far out of what I've shown, those are the picture discs that were being offered on KISS Online as standalone releases, averaging $50 to $60, and I can gladly say I paid right around that average or sometimes below that. Now, the other KISS Online picture discs that are on the pricier spectrum of $150 to $200, limited to 500 copies, are the deluxe version of Double Platinum, Japanese version of Music from the Elder, Love Gun, Alive 2, and Alive 3. The deluxe double platinum and Japanese Music from the Elder were available as standalone releases, but almost sold out instantly, and the other ones were only available in bundles with merch, which gradually sold out quicker as time progressed. The jacket for Love Gun had a deluxe foil finish to it, and the lettering on the covers of Alive 2 and 3 were die cut to see the graphics of the printed inner sleeves. Overall, these are absolutely cool, but those averages for the pricier picture discs is a little out of my reach price-wise, despite the understandable collectability factor with them being so limited, especially for a band as big as KISS, and collecting their vinyl can be quite rabid. It's also a flipper's paradise because the resale value of those are often double what they sold for retail, so getting my hands on those is sort of out of the question, but I am hoping that format does not become the norm going forward with these picture disc pressings, as I intend on growing my KISS picture disc collection going forward. Outside of the KISS Online exclusives, there is the case where some picture discs were manufactured in previous years and are still available from retailers. The obvious case with this one are the 1978 solo albums. In 2006, the Russian label Lilith had released a 4-CD box set of the solo albums, and they also did individual vinyl picture discs of them. Now, given how far back these date to, they do still circulate and are available for $25 on average, which is surely truly a bargain, and because the price was so sweet, I decided to get all 4 of them. Now, the packaging on them is the same across the board, so I'm going to use paws as an example. The jacket is die cut, so you can see the surface of the disc on the front. Back cover is the same as usual. Now, when you take the vinyl out, the inside has the 4 covers and the Kiss album slogan, which kind of harks back to the original promotion campaign that Casablanca pushed for these albums back in '78, which is a nice touch. Now, as for the picture disc itself, side A has the respective album cover, which is obvious, but they repeat it on side B, and the only indicator as to what side is what can be seen on the bottom of the LP where it says either side 1 or side 2. Now, I think this was kind of a missed opportunity because they could have utilized the mural poster artwork for the B-sides just so it's featured, but I digress. It's still cool that these are still available and are able to be obtained affordably. As always, just like the picture disc box sets that I had mentioned earlier, there is the unofficial realm where there are official albums being pressed up unofficially on colored vinyl and picture discs. One prime example that I have is the debut, where it is packaged in a standard jacket with a hype sticker pasted that states limited edition picture disc. It did come in a PVC sleeve, but just down to the nature of those, I substituted that for a nice anti-static one. Now, the A side features a rendering of the album cover, and then the back side has the enlarged logo, and instead of the 3 columns of curved text, it's split into 2 on the bottom. And generally, these unofficial pressings of official albums can sound a bit off in some cases, but this in particular does sound pretty solid, considering that it is a picture disc, and even just the thought of unofficial ones can sound potentially horrible, but honestly, it held up rather decently. So there you guys go. That is the rabbit hole of collecting Kiss picture discs. What do you guys think of picture discs? And do you collect them yourself? Do you collect Kiss ones? Do you collect others? Please drop a comment down below. I'd love to know. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead, give it a like, and subscribe to the channel. See you guys in the next video, and most importantly, keep the records spinning.